Let's welcome in Brett Goode, former Razorback, former Packer, into this conversation. Brett, we're going to talk football, basketball, and baseball with you this morning. I know that you played in both college and the NFL, and when you were asked, I know that Tommy and I, we saw you at playing weight. We also saw you at where you're at now. How easy and how difficult is it to put on weight when you're trying to transition positions like Trey is at tight end?
No, that was the hardest thing. I mean, even whenever I came out of college, that was what they said: is you got to gain weight, and so you're trying to put it on in the right way. And from everything, it looks like he has, and that's really impressive to be able to do that. And that's what you want to use the off season for as well. And when you can do that the right way, and while you're doing your strength and conditioning and be in shape, that's even that much more impressive that you're able to do that. And so he's made that next step. Now we're looking forward, in the spring practices to really make that next step when we put the pads on and practice blocking and catching.
Brett, I went to the chiropractor for the first time yesterday, and I'm not nearly as active as you were during your playing days, but I wonder, of all the injuries and just all the aftermath of playing all those years in the National Football League, what is the body part or what is the muscle or pain that has stayed with you and you think it's going to affect you for a while?
Well, my back always gives me a little problem. Lower back, my left hip pops out, and my left knee hurts all the time. So we kind of you kind of mend with it and learn to live with it. I know, for former players, we get to go do like a full body checkup once a year with NFL physicians, and they kind of just run you over, and that's kind of the main parts that I go through every year.
That's kind of, Tommy, it sounds like we need some of those too. You with your referee and me just kind of working out on a weekly basis.
Too much wear and tear on the body. But hey, I wanted to go over kind of a headline that was on ESPN.com. Talking with the Packers GM that his phone isn't ringing a lot with Aaron Rodgers, and that other teams aren't interested the way that some might perceive. Is this just bluster that's out there? Is this negotiating, or do you think there's really not that level of interest you might perceive in Aaron Rodgers in a trade opportunity with the Packers?
It's such a hard deal. A lot of these times we see it with coaching and players. A lot of these rumors get spread by agents. I know even like contract talks, when somebody actually signs a contract, the first person to leak it is an agent because they want that out there that, hey, their guy made X amount of money. And that's the same thing with this. They're not going to, show their hand right now. They're not going to say anything. I think there is some interest from other teams, but I don't think there's a major interest because the Packers have said that they're not going to trade Aaron, and they want to stick with him. And what Packers have done, they started off the season with, I think it was like $49 million in the hole in the cap space, and they've been clearing out, restructuring some guys' deals and clearing up some space, and a lot of people are saying that's to pay Aaron. But they still got to pay Devontae and figure out that situation as well, because if they franchise tag him, that's going to be a hefty price. So it kind of goes both ways, and I can see the beneficial side of trading him away and also keeping him.
When asked if his phone was ringing, he said, and this is a quote from the column, "Not at all. Not at all. Not a single person." And I don't. Maybe it's the money that scares you away, because you certainly wouldn't be scared. I wouldn't think about maybe being that one piece you need to make at least an NFC run or an AFC run, depending on which side of the league he went on. So I'm kind of like, I find it hard to believe that nobody's interested in trying to figure out how to structure this deal in. But you've seen these reports of nearly $50 million a year. So that's the salary cap number. So that'd be difficult to figure out how they're going to work all of him in.
Yeah, absolutely. And, when the GM, Brian Gutekunst, said that, it was kind of hard for him to hold back his smile. He had a little smirk on his face. So you got to think that there is some truth that he has had some phone calls. Denver's been a big player. That I know they have the first-round picks, and it would take somebody with first-round picks. And I think at this point Aaron would have to sign off on it that he would want to go somewhere and continue to play there. And you got to have an opportunity to win a championship. I don't think him going to that division in the AFC would be, that easy to get through, Patrick Mahomes, and you have to go through the Raiders. And it's a tougher division than the NFC North is right now. And his best option to get back to the Super Bowl and win it is through Green Bay. But Green Bay's got a lot of holes to fix, not only with him and signing some offensive players, but, their defense. They're losing a lot of guys. So it's a really hard time that they're in. I know that Brian said that he'd like Aaron to make a decision before March 16th when free agency begins, and that's a really big key. If he's able to know that, then you're able to kind of put the team together a little bit better.
I wonder your perspective and thoughts on this whole Kyler Murray situation with Arizona. I think Arizona expects to pick up his player fifth-year option, but he had his agent put out that long-winded paragraph stuff yesterday. Didn't make a lot of sense. If you're Kyler, I don't know why you do that. There's multiple things that have been floated out around him. What do you think is going to happen in Glendale with that football team and Kyler's future there?
Well, it's a tough situation. You know, they unfollowed everybody on social media, and there's all these rumors going around. He felt like he got blamed, and you know, we're in the era now of even more so than we've been a long time, where we've taken our ball and gone home, or we're changing teams because of the transfer portal. So you know, people don't like to have a lot of animosity going on within the team, and then sometimes that happens. And you know, Arizona's a great team. They put everything behind. They have a great defense. You know, they put all these weapons on offense. So they've supported Kyler along this way, and if you look at Kyler's numbers, he's kind of stayed the same. He hasn't progressively gotten better like a lot of people have said, and I know his agent came out there and said he's been about the same to these last few years, and so he hasn't made that next step. I don't think he's deserved a huge contract of what he's trying to get, but that's also the quarterback league, is you know, they want to get their money when they can, and I think they're just going to continue to play this battle into the draft and see what happens.
I don't know what the fan base is like down there, if it's a Diamondbacks town, if it's a Cardinals town, if it's an Arizona Coyotes town, their hockey team. But in St. Louis, we were talking about earlier, it's a big deal. It's a big deal for Drew. It's not as big of a deal for me and Tommy that the first MLB series have been canceled. Brett, do you really care about the MLB? Do you care about this work stoppage at this point? I know it hasn't officially expanded on for weeks on weeks, but is that a topic that, I mean, you're a football guy. Do you even care about this MLB stuff?
It's hard. You know, the MLB's always had a lot of games, and now you can go back and forth on do they play too many, but you know, when you got teams that are, 5 games over 500 making the playoffs after you played 120 games, that's tough to watch. It's a long season to keep up with, but I enjoy watching baseball in person. And on the MLB side, I can listen to the Razorbacks all the time on baseball, whether it be on the radio or whatever. And I love college baseball more just because of the small ball aspect of it. But, you know, it's really hard to imagine them not playing. But, you know, these pitchers, they've got to have 30 days. That's the minimum. So each day that they go on, that's another 30 days that they've got to get their arms ready. And you know, they're not able to do that at the facility and really work with the guys. And so it's going to be tricky. I'm scheduled to go to a Boston Red Sox and Yankees game later this fall. So and I've never been there, so that'd be fun to go to. And so I'm excited for that. I got to go to a lot of St. Louis games, and I grew up a Kansas City Royals fan. So just enjoying all those. I do enjoy it, but seeing this lockout, we're kind of getting used to that within baseball.
You said something there that I feel the same way, and have been there for a long time. And my fandom for Major League Baseball has subsided as Razorback baseball has become more important and kind of chewed up that appetite for your baseball kind of sports tree. And as you had to, as your family gets older, your life develops, you prune more things back. You get through college baseball in June, and then you kind of just move into football mode now. And I think that's true here in Arkansas. I don't think we're unique in that, Brett, but I wonder if it's that way in Starkville or in Baton Rouge or in the other towns in the SEC where baseball is college baseball is a big deal, because I don't think we're alone in that idea, Brett, that college baseball is more important to fans in college towns, college markets than the pros are.
Definitely. You think about our baseball team, how good we are. It's a tough ticket to get, and when you're able to get it, when we've sold out, that ticket price is even higher, especially when we got teams coming in. We know what we can do when we host regionals and super regionals, and we've seen that stadium packed, and we keep seeing the expansions and growth within the stadium. So it's a minor league ballpark, and I think with the way that college baseball has grown, a lot of these kids that they have to make the decision with NIL, stick around in college, you get paid a little bit, finish your degree, and you don't have to go ride around on a minor league bus and kind of earn your stripes. You can earn it in conference play now, because college baseball has gotten so big and these teams have gotten so good that it's exciting. And you see all these major league guys that we saw last year, and we'll see them throughout this season. These guys are going to go on to play major league, but you're getting to see them a little bit longer right now because college baseball has grown so much.
You excited for the start of spring football in 11 days, or is this basketball team still captivating all of your attention? I know you're a football guy, but I don't hear as many talking about that, but I think as we get closer, people are going to get a little more excited, or at least put some attention on this football practice.
I think we're going to start paying attention. You're going to kind of want to watch some things, and the biggest thing for us is what we're going to watch is guys. Hopefully, that we come out of this healthy. You want guys they're going to go out there and they're going to hit. We don't want to make a key injury for somebody and have to replace them. But it happens every year. But yes, basketball right now, because of what we're doing, I'm excited about that. I mean, we saw the excitement last year. We know the recruiting and everything that's going on, but this team is really starting to, they've been on their own. They're 14 of the last 15, and you're excited about that and seeing what they can do in this run. And it's just a great time to be an Arkansas fan because we're able to keep up with this basketball team. We know the baseball team is good, and then you've got spring football, and there's a lot of excitement around that from last season. And we just want to see if we can continue to build on everything.
Well, hopefully we're not talking a lot of spring football because we're still talking a deep tournament run with basketball throughout the month of March. All right, Brett Goode's with us. He's with Henderson Phillips. If your company is looking for a new vendor, a new source, someone that can help you maybe just untangle the mess of employee benefits that you've got right now, Brett, you're the guy. 479-651-2292. Whether it's health, dental, life, vision, the whole package, disability, you've got all of those, plus the insurance needs that someone may be looking to get a better price on as well.
Well, that's right. We can handle all your health benefit needs from a group standpoint, all the way to an individual, to Medicare, whatever needs to be done. We get everybody to kind of fight against each other and try and get you the best rate, and then we can also handle anything on the P&C side.
479-651-2292. That's Brett's number. He's with Henderson Phillips. Brett, have a great rest of the week, and we'll talk to you next Wednesday.
All right, sounds good.
Football might be over this season, but basketball is in full steam for both pros and college hoops. For all the latest odds, totals, player performance props, to where the next fired coach is going to land, BetOnline is the #1 spot for all your sports betting needs. Head over to the website or use your mobile device to sign up today and receive your 50% welcome bonus on your first deposit. Use our promo code BELIEVE to get started. That's promo code BLEAV. And it's not just basketball. BetOnline is your source for hockey, boxing, and UFC odds, right to the Olympic coverage, is the best in the business. From sports right down to your favorite Vegas casino games, BetOnline is your #1 online wagering destination. BetOnline, the fastest and easiest way to wager on all your favorite sports and play your favorite games. BetOnline, where the game starts.